Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading Channel, Wednesday Quickie Edition. If you've been, let's try that again. If you have never been here before, we invite you to watch any of our over 400 videos, almost 500 now, that we have arranged for your convenience in playlist, as we are confident you're going to find something both educational and entertaining. If you have been here before but you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. So today we're going to tackle a very common problem that if you have a house, an apartment, or any living conditions you are very likely to encounter, and that is a door that does not operate correctly, right? It's either hard to open or hard to close. And usually this happens because your door is misaligned. One of the things you can check, of course, is also to see if there is any structural damage, and I will show you in a moment how to do that. But stick around and we're going to show you every step of how to do that. So look around your door, especially in the corners. If there are cracks that emanate from the corner towards the ceiling on either direction, or if there was a crack there in the corner, that might be an indication that the house is shifting, and then you need a different approach to this. And we've done a video in the past that did that we took a door and we made it thinner. I don't know if you remember, we used the handheld planer. But in this apartment, this is not the problem. We don't see any cracks that will generate this problem. So if you make sure that there is not a structural issue, then we're going to show you how to easily, with minimal tools, and without even having to take the door off or remove the hinges or anything, you can fix most of the time a door that is either jamming or does not want to close correctly. Alright folks, and here we're in our bathroom, and we do have a problem with this bathroom door. I'm going to show you that when we try to close it, the door hits the top and doesn't close unless we lift the door. And you can probably see now how it is touching there, and this damage is because of the door hitting the I forgot what this is called. The frame. But if you go down, you see how it keeps opening, which means that we need to pull the door this way or push it out that way, right? Now keeping in mind that this is a parallelogram, not perpendicular, it might be a little counterintuitive. In order to fix this, we have to push the bottom of the door towards the frame. Does it make sense? So we have to move the lower part of the door towards the frame, or we need to make this tighter, and we're going to try either or both and see if it will work or not. Because either you close the door or...
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
So we don't have the equipment that door repair people use, so we're going to put a wrench, and I would have liked it a little bigger, on the hinge, and then close a little bit and do it a couple of times. And that might not by itself be enough. We might need to do a little more work. Do it gently.
So you did an adjustment, it was improved, but now we're doing this a little bit more.
Well, let's see now. Much better. I don't know if you can see it, but... And really, maybe I need to do the top too.
Yeah, to adjust it back.
Yeah. It is an opposite direction. I will show you guys how to do it. But here again, as you can see, don't try to do it all at once, because that can actually pull the door off the jam here, you know? Because you're putting a lot of stress on the hinge here. What you do is you're opening the hinge.
Okay.
Now I need to find a way to take this pin off.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, you tell me how.
You take a screwdriver and you put it in the top there, and it should pull the pin out.
Yeah, well, don't have but one screwdriver.
It's a flathead.
Okay.
Or the putty knife, since that's got a finer blade. So we'll get that.
In testing the door, we found out that this hinge was moving a lot, and that might be the only adjustment we need to make. So let's see if that closes now.
Ah,
Perfect.
perfect.
Come inside.
So you didn't even have to do anything
But I will talk
with
about
the
it.
pin. Yeah. You're very nervous, Nelly.
All right, and now we'll show you with those two little adjustments. And notice what we did here, like we pull this way, the door hinge this way, right? And we push the other hinge out. Now you can put like a seam underneath, but it's much more work. Again, we didn't have to touch anything, we didn't unscrew anything. But the two of those, and I don't know, I want to show you like this. Just touching it, you see that I don't lift the door or nothing. And you can see now we have, not perfect, but it's much better and the door opens and closes without difficulty.
Yeah. You can still see that it's a wider gap at the bottom, but it's definitely not slamming against the top of the jamb like it was.
And these are very old doors in the apartment, they're not taken care of, unfortunately. Alright, and our door works fine now, so we don't need to do it. Again, I will show you. Just put your weight anywhere in the door and it closes very nicely. And it hangs nice, you see it doesn't close down, it doesn't
Right.
move by itself. So this is a vast improvement of the door versus when we started. If this had not fixed it and we needed to do more of an adjustment, what we have to do is take this pin out, and it's easy to take pins out usually. You can take a screwdriver and knock it from the bottom, or take a, what you said?
Putty knife.
A putting knife, wedge it there, and you don't have to take it completely off, by the way, just bring it on top here. Even though this door is light and has 3 hinges, you could take it off completely, makes no difference. But what you want to do next is, as you can see, there are 3, I don't know what to call them, 3 parts that connect to the door and 2 parts that connect to the frame, right? So what you want to do is take an adjustable wrench. They actually make it just for this purpose, but which is actually intended to connect there, right? And without the pin there, that's important, grab it and then pull this out, and that, as you can see, will draw the door there. Make sense? And the reason you don't have the pin is because the pin, of course, won't allow you to do that. But then when you do both of them, and again, you're going to do small adjustments, not heavy, and they will have the same result. It's going to pull your door that way. We're not going to do that because then I'm afraid we'll make this door too tight. So we were able to fix our door by enlarging the gap down there and by tightening the screws on the top. And Elpida noticed, I didn't even pay attention to that, but when we were closing the door, Elpida noticed that the hinge was moving. So if your hinge is moving, it means that it is not securely attached either to the door or to the jamb. So it can be very simple. We got lucky and actually it was just loose. In most cases, when your hinge moves, there is damage to the hole that the screw goes in. And an easy way to fix that is to use a golf T. And if you really put it there and then cut it flush, if you put a screw in, that will provide enough expansion to protect it. Another thing you can do is you can fill it with glue. Let the glue dry and then do it. Or use matches. Does anyone uses matches these days?
Or like a thin dowel.
A very small dowel, or anything that you can put in the, we didn't need to do that again, but if you need that, that's how that works, right? But in our case, again, the door opens and closes, no problem. And that's a fix. I hope you enjoyed this Wednesday quickie, and if you did, we would like to invite you to give us a like. It really helps a lot. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe, and let us know what you would like to see in future episodes in our channel. From the garage, woodworker, and Alpida, and of course the Urban Homesteading channel, want to wish you a safe and great week, and we're going to see you again in the weekend. Stay safe and farewell.